Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to Let's Play House of Ashes. This is Episode 3. So last time we were sent off to investigate this supposed chemical weapons facility, and things kind of went to shit when a group of holdout Iraqi guards showed up, started shooting, and then the ground collapsed and everybody fell in, and we lost a few folks already, including Clarice, the researcher, and Merwin, the technician, who, I killed him by accident, but I don't think he would have lasted long considering he's all torn up and we were being hunted by bat monsters. So now we've switched over to Salim, the press-ganged Iraqi guard who isn't too keen to be here in the first place. Also, apparently he does have a flashlight on his AK, even though it didn't look like he did. So we can look around with it. So I think for the sake of survival, we're going to want to find the Marines as soon as possible. Also, we have a bit of a good footing with Salim here, because Jason didn't gun down that unarmed guy running away. I wonder if there's any reason not to have the flashlight up. I don't know, I feel like an Iraqi soldier who's normally going to be fighting in the desert wouldn't have a flashlight. Like, was it even standard issue for Marine M4s to have a flashlight issued with them? Alright. This is dead somebody. I don't even know who that is. Just one of the other generic Marines that were with us. He got torn up pretty good. I would have assumed these bat monsters have an aversion to light, but they haven't really demonstrated that yet. They weren't afraid of the torch back in the prequel section. I keep saying prequel, I'm prologue section. Oh, we got a hint. A vision of the future. Somebody will get their leg grabbed at some point. That doesn't seem like a helpful vision of the future. Like, how does that tell me how to avoid that fate? Don't stick your legs out. Okay. Don't think we want to follow this blood trail. Unless that's Merwin's blood trail. Which I don't think it is, because we already went through the head when that happened. I had my hand off the mouse there for a second. You always got to be ready for a QTE in these games. Blame Shenmue for that everlasting legacy of QTEs and them happening at any time. Alright, so we lost our rifle, which means we lost our flashlight, but it looks like now we have a lighter if I hit Q. Alright, nothing tucked away in the corners. Did we leave bloody footprints if we step in that? Nope. That is a point of detail lost. Yeah, they even had flares on him. Better equipped than I would have expected. Also, this is a thing that happens a lot in movies and video games with walking around with a Zippo to light your way. But I'm pretty sure, like, I've never owned a Zippo, I've only used other people's for certain things, but I'm pretty sure it would get real hot real quick if you left it lit, because it's all metal body. Instead, now I have a stupid, like, plasma lighter that runs off of a battery. And it's just a little arcing grid of plasma across the top. Unsurprisingly, it has pretty bad battery life. Okay. We're getting into some very claustrophobic quarters. And the the widescreen bars definitely add to that. I don't even know what to call them anymore. Like, I keep calling them, like, cinematic bars or whatever, but they used to just be what we called widescreen before there was widescreens. You know, when movies used it as a format. Because we had wide movie screens, but not wide television screens. So it's just going to be a toss-up every time we see one of these exact-sized doors on whether we're going to have to QTE it open. Who's there? Who's making that clicking sound? Okay, we got a dead soldier. Not our boss, though, because he's got a beret. Here, you can have him back. I don't want him. This is familiar. Again, I don't think that'll kill him, but it'll at least stop him from chasing us for a second. Alright, now will this sunlight keep it back? Because they definitely don't seem to be blind. Always sticking those fingies out. That's convenient. I guess Allah be with us today. What is that? It's an entire truck just fell through the roof. I think that was the truck we drove it on. Alright, I think we're switching over to one of the kings now. Since they were hiding together in the house, they fell together.
This whole damn place is about to come down.
We need to get deeper.
Are you okay? Are you hurt?
I'm good. Did you see Sergeant K? Kolchak?
Last I saw, they were together.
I tried. Something's interfering with the signal.
You know things have gotten bad because
way out?
Eric lost his glasses.
You know I've got your back, Rach. Stay close, you'll be fine.
I'm pretty good at looking after myself, Eric.
Been doing it for the last year.
Carabiners, quick draws, rope, light. Shit. Okay.
All good?
All good.
Let's do it.
So I feel like those little lights can't be that useful in the dark. They're pretty small. They're like pen lights.
Well, that's a steep drop to nowhere.
We've got rope.
We got climbing gear.
Hey, look. There's an airflow.
I say we climb.
Just waiting for the
So when did you start smoking?
moment where he's
Excuse me?
like, "Where'd you get that U.S. Marines lighter?" Oh, he's bringing it up
It's
already.
nothing. Just something I picked up back at base.
Are you ready?
Are you?
You know, the situation with them is bringing to mind that one girl in the Descent that straight up just fucking murders the other one when she finds out that the other one was cheating on her man. I can't remember if she just kills her or she stabs her in the
doesn't
leg
look
and
much
leaves
like
her
a
to be
weapon
eaten by
silo to me.
cannibals.
If there's nothing down here, then why were we attacked?
There's a war on. People tend to shoot each other.
Especially when you go flying over their territory. In your big loud helicopters. Okay, we still have a gun. but neither of them was carrying a rifle.
I guess we could classify this as quality time.
You and I always did have a different view on quality time.
I do like that we're getting a little more active time to, look around now that we're down in the caves. And it's not just mostly cutscene.
You mean the sense of feeling lost?
Remember when we used to go cave diving in ancient ruins together? Hey, you have any idea what language this is, Rachel? I can't even tell what language this is. Doesn't look like anything to me.
Looks old.
Wow.
Old?
Good assessment.
It's ancient. That's cuneiform. Sumerian, maybe? What is this place?
I believe Sumerians actually predated Akkadians.
Maybe don't know me.
Can't remember if it's before or after, but around the same historical period. Okay, now I can see why you put the light down, because... Okay, so we can go this way, but I want to backtrack here for a sec, because there was another tunnel. And I wanted to investigate it. Hopefully Rachel doesn't get eaten while I'm over here. Okay. It's, nothing? No? Hopefully this leads back to where she's going. Oh, there is a picture down here. It sounds like she caught up behind me. Okay. They need to be careful when they are climbing. Otherwise, they will both fall and die. I definitely heard her footsteps behind me. Oh, okay, there she is. So yeah, well, there is some awkward camera stuff that it causes. I think this claustrophobia is kind of intentional. Because I think the widescreen's actually gotten thicker since we got to this area. Like, it's slowly consuming more of the screen, it feels like. I'm gonna have to take a screenshot and compare it to one of the earlier episodes. I did find that there is a way to mod that out, but I think it will cause some rendering issues where stuff the game doesn't know it should be rendering, where those bars are, doesn't appear.
Floor seems stable.
Yeah, it looks fine.
All right. She's probably gonna slip. There's some faintly threatening wubs in the background music. I mean, so far, they seem to have landed in the safest area. Because we haven't had a single bat sound.
You'll have to learn to deal with pressure.
Is that Sargon down there? As he dooms his people?
What do you think this place is?
Hard to say. These carvings look religious. I think we may be in a temple.
Man, if only Salim were here, he could give us his historical knowledge. But we haven't met him yet. And there's Pazuzu again.
It's Pazuzu.
Wow, you got good eyes if you can see that from over there.
Pazuzu. Do you not watch horror movies?
Is there a lot of horror movies that star Pazuzu?
It's a Sumerian demon. Something to do with plagues, I think.
Plagues and demons, huh? Great.
I know that Pazuzu is apparently the eventually revealed source of the possession in The Exorcist. I think that was something that came up either in the novelization or like one of the sequels. Okay, there's our first bat noise down there. We don't want to go down there.
What is it?
Don't suggest it.
You didn't hear that?
I didn't hear anything.
I thought I heard something down there.
Yeah, it sounded like weird monster clicking. You want to go check it out?
Even in ruins, this place is still something special.
Wonder what happened here. Great, that's all we need. That's gunfire.
Where's it coming from?
I don't know. The acoustics are all over the place in here. Don't go down into the monster hole.
Can you make anything out?
It's deep. That looks safe to you?
It's our only option.
Get the rope. We're going down.
Wasn't even done looking around. $144 feet. I don't actually remember where Jason and Nick fell, how deep that was. I wasn't paying attention to the depth. Okay. That was a pretty safe rope. She's even controlling her descent without gloves. Not good for your hands.
Unbelievable.
We're not the first ones here. Damn it. All this crap must be what Kayla's detected.
God damn it, Eric. Why do you suck so much?
I'm sorry, Eric. For real. You put everything into this research.
Isn't it
More than
just
you'll ever know.
thermal imaging, though?
You can't blame yourself.
Isn't that how you described it?
I've messed up. Should have triple checked the data. Exhausted every possibility.
So he, like, saw people down here, or what he thought was people.
I understand what it meant to you, Eric.
And also, those creatures probably have heat
I'm so
signatures.
sorry.
We've both made mistakes. Some of ours are worse than others.
There's no use in dwelling on it. We need to focus on the task ahead and find a way out of this place.
The hell is that?
Subsidence? From the aftershocks?
So it did seem like the creatures don't like sunlight, but they might not be bothered by artificial light.
This looks like archaeological gear.
Or maybe it's just not bright enough.
Somebody was studying this ruin.
Ah, I bet they don't like the UV stick.
Hey, we could use those lamps.
Bet he's gonna bust that out
The light
later and
guide
wave
the
it at
ruins
them.
to us.
Do you think that still works?
It'll work. Just needs gas. We need to find some.
I guess the question, too, is how old is this stuff? Is this like some old archaeological expedition that ended up down here?
I hope you're safe.
What was that?
Sorry? Did you say something?
No, nothing.
What is that? A hammer. That's a secret. Did they smash it with the hammer? An old machine gun.
Eric, check this out.
Interesting
Oh,
kind
look at
of
the machine gun here.
archaeological
It's a
expedition.
World War II model. Ties in with the time the archaeologists were here.
What archaeologists?
What the fuck happened here?
I feel like we're getting things out of order here, which does tend to happen with these games because they don't account for what you're going to examine first. All right, we'll keep that in mind if we need to drive back the beasts. I feel like they needed some third-person shooter technologies just for getting these animations to not look so wonky when you look around. It's like when you're walking around, she looks a little odd. What the fuck? I feel like there's something here it wants me to examine, but then when I get close, it's like, nah. Oh, there we go. It's on the wall.
Fuck, that's a hell of a lot of fireworks.
Okay, so they were
All call
potentially
signs, this is King. Does
gonna
anyone
blow the
copy?
place.
Over. Who could they have been up against?
That zoom seemed like a jump scare waiting to happen. I mean, like, I dig this stuff. I like that we're dropped down into this spooky old abandoned ruin, and there's signs of someone else being here before. Again, I'm getting a little bit of Amnesia Rebirth vibes, just from the similar kind of, hey, these monsters are out in the desert, and the locals are aware of them, but otherwise they've gone unnoticed for so many years.
They've been cataloging these pieces. Somewhere. This is King to all call signs. Why would they do that? Look at this place. It doesn't add up.
Back in these days, archaeologists were much better equipped for all kinds of potential danger, since a lot of the times they went on these digs without very many people knowing about it, so they'd be the first to get credit. And thus they had to be well equipped for anything. No, I found the gas that we think we need, but
Eric, come give me a hand with these cans.
also not a chance in fucking hell that this gas would
That's how we
be
had a little
usable. Sitting there for like 50 years?
How's the lake holding up?
Longer? That's from World War II era?
Leg. Oh, you mean the prosthesis? I lost my leg back on the highway.
Don't. I still feel guilty.
I didn't make it easy on you, Rach. I know that.
Also, the prosthesis
You
is
weren't
more
a leg
durable
leg,
than my
right?
leg.
Let's get to work.
I look like a small bat boy. See, like, is it going to give me a chance to look around now, or have I lost my opportunity because I touched the thing I
Shine a
needed
light
to
on the
find?
tank.
There's those fingies again. I'm not even sure there would be anything in that can at this point.
Shit.
I think it would have all evaporated.
What's wrong?
Fuel tube's worn loose. The damn valve is leaking.
Could it be fixed?
We have to secure the tube before starting the generator.
See if you can
There'll be
find some
something here to
paper
fix it.
clips or something. Okay, good. Duct tape? How long has duct tape been around?
Aware of our situation.
I'm hoping the pilots got word back.
If any of them survive, that is.
It's one of those things I feel like has been around much longer than I would assume it has. Journal of Randolph Hodgson. Ooh, fancy.
September the 24th, 1945. When Lady Bradshaw summons you, you go. Mary and I were bound for a honeymoon, but the chance to dine with one of Britain's finest antiquarians was too great for us to miss. When we met, Bradshaw wore a brooch that caught Mary's eye. A Sumerian relic recovered from a dig site in the Hashemite kingdom of Iraq. After dinner, she showed us another find from the same site, a gold cuneiform tablet. She called it the final puzzle piece in her life's work, a map that pinpoints the tomb of Alexander the Great. If she's right, the tomb lies somewhere on the border of Iraq. Lady Bradshaw wants us to lead her expedition. I realize now that our honeymoon will take place in a dusty dig site in the Zagros Mountains.
I'd like to think that's just the voice that she had in her head as she was reading it.
This place is starting to make me feel a little uneasy.
I don't think there's anything particularly uneasy in that journal.
I'm beginning to think that even the Iraqis don't know about this place.
I mean, the shepherds seem to know about it, considering they fucking built their house on top of it.
What happened to these guys?
The Hodgson Expedition, October 1946. I want to see if I can fan myself with the photo. Also, something that came to mind after the previous episode is I wonder...
ASAP. I can't see shit.
I wonder if not using the white phosphorus means we will still have those handy. Because I bet those would piss off the bats pretty good.
I don't understand how I got that so wrong.
Great, now he's going to be racked with doubts. Or I racked with doubts. Okay, this one's less fancy. We don't get it read out to us. The Curse of Akkad by Aline Journeau. Scholars regard The Curse of Akkad as a fiction, an instructional story that trained the Sumerians to endure famine, fate, and the whims of the gods. However, the discovery of this great temple hints at a new truth behind it. In the original tale, the god Enlil turns against King Naram-Sin of Akkad. At first, the king is pious and penitent, praying for answers. But after 7 years, the gods have given none, so Naram-Sin decides to bring them to account. He raises an army and marches to the city of Nippur to sack Enlil's temple. This blasphemy is so great that Enlil, the roaring storm, enlists the gods against Naram-Sin, sending the Gutians to raze Akkad to the ground, destroy its farms, and curse the people with famine. Actually, probably should flip that. See if there's another thing.
What the rest of the squad are doing?
Probably dying, if I had to guess.
This temple, it was built to appease the gods.
There is no historical record of Naram-Sin demolishing the temple to Enlil. However, our finds here suggest the curse was based on actual events. King Naram-Sin built this place to honor the gods. Many of our finds depict the king pleading to heaven to invite the gods back into the spiritual life of his people. The fact that this temple was lost suggests the curse could not be broken. So yeah, again, they've taken what was vaguely recorded historical bit of information and based their kind of whole setup for the story, similar to Man of Medan, because there is still not consensus whether the Orang Medan was a real ship or not. Yeah, there's some duct tape. Not going to touch that yet, but choose not to.
How can something this vast have remained hidden for so long?
I mean, we're still finding new temples in Egypt, so clearly the desert
Shitload
can
more
hide a
dynamite
lot.
here. The hell would they need so much for?
She seems very confused about the dynamite, but like obviously they put it on all of the pillars to collapse this room. Doesn't seem very confusing. Okay, have we done a full lap yet?
They really didn't want anyone flanking them. Where do you think this passage leads?
Well, no. You should check the Kalis files.
Is that a thing we can do here?
What could they have possibly been faced with that required all this?
Every time she sees more dynamite, she's just baffled. What could possibly drive someone to use a lot of dynamite for something? Okay, I think we've almost done a full lap of the room now, because we're back at the stairs. Oh, audio log? A broken audio log? I don't think we can fix this. Like here, you can see my mouse. The camera doesn't want to look at anything. No, there we go. I guess I have to hold and drag even though we're not touching it. I feel like I could fix this. Just have to, string it back through. But she doesn't want to do that. Gotta move that cup out of the way. Wow, this paper looks like it's in really good condition.
These mountains. Can't say I blame them.
14th October, 1946. Randolph, I trust this finds you well. Our journey to the dig has been delayed. We left some heavy equipment behind in Saran because Pullman, could only hire half the men and mules needed. Workers refuse to go into the mountains. They are superstitious and cry they will be possessed by demons. They even refused bonus pay of 2 dinars each. We have also left the second generator and the spare radio behind with the agent. We should be with you by the 18th. Yours faithfully, Aline Junot. Damn it.
Maybe climbing out of the cavern back there would have been the smarter move.
Forgot to flip it. Always got to flip it. Oh no, she doesn't touch this one, so you can't flip it. Okay. So we know where the duct tape is. Let's go up the stairs. Check up here. I guess this is the room that we started in. You know, this is the king's throne. There's the door that we tried to hold off the demons. It's kind of an unassuming throne despite the massive size of the room and the giant fucking statue of himself behind him.
Hope we can get this thing started.
Okay, nothing hidden back here. I do worry that if we get too far away, we might just get eaten. So I'm trying to keep my head on a swivel here. Is this where we came from? No, this is a solitary chamber, so we should be okay in here. Unusual.
It mentions echolocation. Is this something to do with bats?
Creature features.
Symptoms? Characteristics, maybe?
Autopsy
Not exactly
findings.
sure.
Blind, uses echolocation to hunt. Well, it doesn't really explain why it would be afraid of the sun, then. Unintelligible, hypersensitivity, skin highly resistant to physical trauma, clumsy flyer, evolution, saliva, hibernates? So yes, they are hard to injure. Meaning that 556 probably isn't going to punch through their hide very well. Unless you find a soft spot like the wings. Okay. His UV light will be hot enough to set something on fire. Oh, that's not Pazuzu. Who is that? Lamashtu? Kind of look like the symbols we saw in the buildings upstairs. Lamashtu and Pazuzu are rivals. Both of them are demons that represent different winds. So it's interesting that symbols to both appear in here, if that is indeed her. Alright. I think we got everything we can examine for the moment. So let's get this place lit up. You seem to move like...
This place has some good choke points, but overall it's a weak setup.
Could have been done under pressure. Don't know the constraints they were working under.
You move like marginally faster when you don't have your light out.
I found some duct tape. See if we can jumpstart this generator.
All right. Since I think something big is going to happen here, I think we'll end it here, and next time we'll start the generator and see what that calls if it alerts the Horde. So, thank you for joining me for another episode of House of Ashes, and, you know, kind of enjoying it so far. I like the setup, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this kind of comes together once our characters stop being so split up. But, until next time, you folks all take care.